My name, again, if you don't know, is Life's Ugly Money Problem, also known as Lump. And welcome back to the No Chops podcast, where we chop it up with no chops. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay, all things considered. I'm still jobless. Uh, and I don't know if I want that to change or not. I would like to get more comedy gigs for sure. And I'm speaking that into existence. I just got accepted to my first comedy festival, the Black Comedy Fest in Kansas City, Missouri. But I'm happy I got into my first festival, so thank you to them, and looking forward to it. I really haven't traveled that much for stand up. I think I went up to as high as Connecticut and as low as Frederick, Maryland. I don't know if DC or Baltimore are more southern than that, but that's as far as I've been doing stand up in my 13 years. So it's going to be nice to get outside of my usual area. What else is going on? I got my EIN and a business number, and put in for a LLC. So hopefully those things go well. And I will be doing. I will be consulting also for appliances, whether you should repair them or not, whether you should get this one or that one. So look me up. Life's Ugly Money Problem DBA Lump LLC. We're incorporated now. We trying to get some monies. We need all the monies. Send us the monies. I want to take a 10-second time out to say rest in peace to um, my favorite uncle, Ernest Franklin Walker. So I want to take 10 seconds for him. Rest in peace, Uncle Ernie. I love you. I miss you. You're a great man. Um, gonna miss you. Moving on. How have I been busy? Since I'm not working, I don't have a job anymore. I'm not working, so I've been keeping busy by doing stand up, by running around getting some things. We're booked for some stuff. I am booked on February 16th for Casa. Is it Casa? Yeah, Casa de Duran. Um, or is it Casa de London? I think it's Casa de Duran. London Duran runs the show. He booked me for it. Very happy for that. On March 1st and 2nd, I will be featuring at the Comedy Works in Bristol. I'm looking very much forward to that. I've been working there for the better part of 8 years, if not longer. I've been hosting there for at least 8 years, though, and I got one feature spot before. Hopefully, this one goes a lot better. I put the work in, and I really don't ask for much. So when my name came up, I asked for it, and I received it. So that's a good thing. I'm also March 30th. I'm performing for Derail Comedy. It's somewhere in Jersey. I will have details coming up probably on the next episode for that. I think I'm booked for some other things. Um, I'm hosting an open mic at the Monkey Club. It's in Port Richmond. It's on York. I know it's off of York and Frankfurt. In North Philly, I'll be hosting there, and then I'll be headlining the same thing as me and Aaron Bell. It's gonna be March Madness at the Monkey Club for March 16th. So there will be tickets for that. I'll have that posted at some point in my stuff. Follow me online at Life's Ugly on just about everything now. We switched a lot of things up, which means I got to get new business cards, right? Because I got like new emails and but these are the simplest of problems. Find me, book me. I'm available. I do most of my sets, all of my sets, on stage with a microphone and my teeth in. So keep that in mind. We're going to start today with sports because the other topics that I have kind of run together. And usually I talk about sports as my third uh, segment, but we're going to open with sports today because it ain't really that much on the sports. So the first thing is the Flyers goalie, Carter. Is it Carter? I believe it's Carter Hart. It's not Connor. It's Carter Hart. Carter Hart. He had to take a leave of absence from the team, and nobody's saying why. I did a little Google searching, and it came up that there may be he's in trouble in Canada for something that him and his junior hockey team did, or may not have done. I don't know how to word that properly as not to get in trouble for saying it. So he's away from the team, and the Flyers been in and out a little bit. They weren't doing as good as they were, but they weren't supposed to do anything this year. So the fact that they're still playing meaningful hockey in February going into March is a good thing for the team and the city and the organization. So regardless of what happens with Connor Hart, I wish him the best in whatever's going on with him, because like I said, I didn't really look it up. I just know something with his junior hockey team in Canada, something happened. But I hope he does well with whatever's going on with that. And but the Flyers themselves, the team, has been playing really good this year. So that's for that. Still no Philly stuff. Pitches and catches coming up soon. We'll see the stuff that goes on with them. I want to take a moment and wish Rhys Hoskins the best for the rest of his career, because more than likely he won't be back. And he was farm grown from the Phillies. And it sounds like we're making people. The Phillies farm system had been depleted from some championship runs from years ago, and Rhys was one of the players that came up through that farm system. And he got hurt in spring training last year. I think he tore his ACL or his MCL, something like that. And the team made do without them and went back on another playoff run. And basically, Bryce Harper took his position. So what's going to happen is Rhys is not coming back. I don't know who he signed with, but I wish him the best. Philadelphia loves you and will always have the bat spike. That's for sure. So peace to him. As far as the Eagles go, we'll switch to the Eagles very quickly and shortly. I don't know what to say about the Eagles. I just know that it doesn't look like Nick Sirianni is in charge. And what I mean by that is, anytime that you're ordered to fire your coordinators in the middle of the season or change them, that most coaches will not switch horses mid-race, if you understand what that means. And I think I believe that call came from up on high. I don't think it came from Howie. I think it came from the owner, Mr. Lurie. And, you got to respect it. It's his team, his money, his rules. But you got to let things play out the way that they need to play out. And forcing certain things that happen could have cost your team a significant playoff run. I hope that Jason Kelce comes back. If he doesn't, then all props to him. He arguably one of the top 10 Eagles of all time. And he gets to leave with a ring. Same for Fletcher Cox. I hope they come back, but if they don't, I wish them well and nothing but respect for them. Brandon Graham already said he's coming back and he's going to get his grandpa tour on, and that's cool. And I appreciate him. He's also an Eagles great as well. Same for Fletcher Cox. I wasn't leaving them out of that. The Eagles did hire a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and I guess I'll talk about the defensive coordinator first. His name is Vic Fangio. Supposedly he was working with the Dolphins last year, but he was best known for his work in San Diego. Not sure, but I've been hearing his name in certain circles in football for, we'll say, the better part of a decade. I remember hearing his name pre-pandemic And I just know he runs like a 3-4 base defense. For those that don't know, 3-4 defenses are three down linemen with four linebackers for your front seven, and then your back seven is usually back seven. Usually, well, yeah, your back seven is usually all right. So all your numbers need to get to all the numbers of the players that you use have to come up to 11. So most defenses in the NFL, especially like in the late 90s, early 2000s, were 4-3 defenses, which was four down linemen, which is the defensive ends and the tackles on the inside, and three linebackers, Sam, Middle, and Will. Well, Sam being the strong side linebacker, and meaning middle, and then Will is the weak linebacker or the weak side, depending on what side of the offense you're on. And then in most defenses, they run they have two cornerbacks and two safeties. There are variations of defenses where there's and I'm not sure who did it, but there was a defense recently, we'll say in the past 10 years, that ran strictly nickel, which is 5 defensive backs, and then whatever else is left out of the 6, you run either 4-2 or you run 3-3. I like a 3-4 defense, but I don't like it to be modified so much that you take away from yourself when you blitz. So if you're normally sending 3 down linemen and a linebacker, that's kind of good, but then that just ends up on paper to the offense looking like a defensive end. So we'll see how it goes with Mr. Fangio. A lot of people are questioning his validity because they're like, what has he done to, do that, to become a defensive coordinator? And if people are taking your variations and running with them, it's best to just go ahead and go to the source. I know when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, can you look this up? The Eagles defensive coordinator 2017 when they won the Super Bowl, it was a former coach from Detroit. I can't remember his name. It escapes me right now. I don't know if it was it Jim Schultz? But anyway, a lot of people was using that guy's defense, and the Eagles went out and got him, and then they ended up winning the Super Bowl because of it. So I'm not saying that Vic Fangio coming to coach our defense will get us the Super Bowl, but if everybody else has been using this template, you might as well get the guy that created it, or that did the most with it. For offensive coordinator, they went and got Kellen Moore. Kind of split on that. He was the offensive coordinator, he was the offensive coordinator in San Diego, or not San Diego, I'm sorry. Excuse me. They moved to LA, so they're the LA Chargers now. But he was there for a season, and then before that, he was with Dak for 3 years or 4 years in Dallas. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see. I want to keep it optimistic on Kellen Moore. I kind of don't want to trash him. But as a Philadelphia native and sports fan, fuck the Cowboys and everyone that's... And just for the sport. Other than that, live your life, do what you do, but fuck the Cowboys. Real talk. Where does the Cowboy hatred come from? Being named America's team when you were the only team on television, and then, and I don't have a problem with Cowboys fans that are from Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. It's the people. It's not even the organization. Even though they make a bunch of trash moves, you saw the owner sitting there mad when the little black girl wanted to go to school. They found a picture of him. The internet is vicious. They found a picture of him looking eerily nationalist. Wow. I think it was Ruby Parker. He's going to school. I don't remember the little girl's name, but it was in Arkansas back in them days when nobody liked us and didn't want us around. And he was outside of there. They don't know if he did anything, but it is what it is. I just not a fan of Cowboys fans. We're gonna continue to make fun of the owner. I like Dak Prescott as a quarterback, but it seems like every year, that they start talking great about him, he just phones it in. He ends up losing some way somehow. And but it's just Cowboys fans. They're just terrible. Man, we won all these championships. The last time they won a championship, like I was just out of high school. I think it was '96 was the last time the Cowboys won a championship. And I know how that feels because my team only won a championship 6 years ago. Just one. So happy we won that one. I never have to hear somebody say that my team never won the Super Bowl. They can talk about the one all they want. Don't care. We got one. And it's a recent one. As years progress, it's not as recent as it is, but we won one. Saw a parade. I went. I had to go. Buried my brother 2 days before the Eagles won that game. Had to go to that parade. For him, if nobody else. Not even for me. I had to go for him. I had to stand there and listen to Jason Kelce tell people that they don't like Philly because they don't. People do not fuck with us. And the people that they do fuck with from Philly, the world takes them. There's not too many people that come from Philly and get big. And it's not that they forget Philadelphia. It's just that the world engulfs them. And that's what's supposed to be. That's what's supposed to happen. I got a little sidetracked and got the rambling. I ain't even that high. And lastly, we're going to turn to the Sixers. The Sixers are kind of going through it right now. Embiid got hurt. And if you look at the tape, it looks a little intentional. Like somebody should have called dude out for that. He definitely landed on Embiid's leg in an awkward manner. And Embiid tore his meniscus. He's supposed to be getting surgery. We'll see how that goes. He's definitely, because of the games he's about to miss, apparently the board of governors, or maybe I don't know, the league office in some way, there's a rule now where you have to play 65 games in order to be eligible for postseason awards. Kind of don't know how I feel about that. It was supposed to be to counterbalance or counteract load management, which Cam and Mace would pause if they heard me say it that way. But it was basically, load management was basically, I believe the term was coined for Kawhi Leonard because he was like injured and something like that, and they wanted to keep him fresh for the rest of the season. And it ended up working when he was in Toronto because they won it all. But Embiid may be going for a significant amount of time. Without Embiid, the Sixers do not play well. And I think, not that they don't play well, they don't win enough. And I think they have to do enough. Right now, they're either third or fourth in the East. They have to do enough to make the tournament and hope that Embiid comes back. I'm going to take a timeout because I got to take a leak. I'm sorry, I had to go pay the water bill. It was outstanding balance. I'm back, and I'm hot, so I got to take all this shit off. This is what's going on over here. Do not pause it. Let's keep it. You don't have to use it in the show, but it's melting nigga weather in here right now. Woo. Get naked. Oh. There. Take the neck wrap off. Whew. Still freezing outside, so I'm a bit layered up. I hope my hair don't look crazy. But it's hot in here right now. We got the heat on down here in Excellence Studios. What I want to discuss next is rap music, my favorite genre of music. Although I love and like a lot of other things, rap music is my favorite. There were some songs that came out in the 80s that basically formed me into the person that I am because of the music. Songs like The Message and what else? Planet Rock. Planet Rock was my jamski. There was a song from from a group in Philly. I think it was called the Crown Rulers. Kick the Ball. We'll come back to that, but that might make my list of perfect songs. That's a tease. We'll come back to that. I would say my first favorite hip hop artist was probably Ice Cube, and this was before I knew he wrote for NWA. But like, just something about the way he rapped, I just was always a fan. And then when he split from the group and he got the production from the East Coast through I can't remember dude's name. It was the same. It was probably Hank Shockley, the people that did Terminator X and Public Enemy. It was probably the like when before he got that. Like I was a big Cube fan, but I was a big fan of NWA, Above the Law, Spice One, what was it, MC8 and Compton's Most Wanted, Too Short. I remember songs from Too Short when I was a young boy. Too Short, and Too Short is one of those hip hop. Do I want to say chameleons? Like Too Short has always been in hip hop. Like he's one of those constants. He's always been just super hip hop. Big fan of his. I remember E40 from back in the day. What else? A lot of the New York scene. I remember. Sheesh. I remember all that stuff. Love that music, man. I remember listening to Power 99, Q102. And we used to have the tapes, and we would tape our favorite songs, and you know what I mean, record our favorite songs. Some of y'all looking at me like, what is a tape? I'm pretty sure they'll put a picture of one up. And the top of the tape, there was these holes. You would have to stuff the holes with something. Me myself, I would use actual like Scotch tape and ball it in a ball and stuff it in there so you could be able to record the songs on. When I got to high school, I remember riding the bus on the way home, and I was listening to the radio, and I heard Wu-Tang. I remember hearing Protect Your Neck for the first time, and I went right to the store. It used to be a store. It was called Monk's. It was at 52nd and Baltimore, but it was on Baltimore Ave, and we used to get the tapes. I went in there and got tapes. I still got tapes somewhere. I think they are home in the basement. But I remember the Wu-Tang Clan. Who else? I remember a whole bunch of rap groups. But I've always been the biggest fan of certain things. There was Ice Cube, NWA, which bled into Snoop. Well, for real, that umbrella is really Dr. Dre. Not to say that Ice Cube and Snoop aren't their own entities, but like Dre and Cube, and then Dre and Snoop, and then Dre and Eminem. Dre is just a monster. So I guess that really would be the Dr. Dre tree. Wu-Tang, I remember Wu-Tang. I remember Naughty by Nature. Who else? Lords of the Underground. It was one of my favorite groups growing up. They was from Jersey. The Artifacts. Tame One, and I can't remember the other boy name. That song, that Artifact track, what was it? The Artifact tracks about this side of the tracks or something like that. The wrong side of the tracks. That used to be my shit. Then they had the remix with Busta Rhymes. Who else? After that, it was like the Fugees and who else? Of course, you got your standard classics, your Run DMC, your LL, your Slick Rick. Who else? There's so many. Brand Nubian, the Redhead Kingpin, the King and I. I remember the John Trey Lee did before he did the song with Biggie. That joint was a party rocker. That was my shit. Who else? This is an artist. One of my next favorite artists. Uh, I'd heard about him, and then I found a song of his, and I didn't hear that song for like 5 years. And then the internet caught on. You know what I'm saying? The internet got big where everybody had it on their phones and stuff, and you could look up anything. And I ended up finding him again, and that was MF Doom. Rest in peace to MF Doom. I believe he passed in October of either 2020 or 2021, but his wife didn't tell everybody until New Year's Eve of whatever year that was. And I'm pretty sure they can put that up. Doom was crazy. He used to go by the name of Zevlov X. He was on a song with Third Base back in the day called The Gas Face. And then I forget the name of the group that he was in, but it was basically him, his brother, and somebody else. I think his brother's name was Sub Rock. And they had a third member who was like the DJ and did other stuff or whatever. But basically, from my understanding, I may not be 100% clear on this. Sub Rock passed away in a car accident, and then Doom ended up in jail. And then when he came home from jail, he made some great music. So if you ever get the chance, look up Food, Food, Food. That's a great album. He also linked up with Madlib, who's a producer, I believe from California, that makes great beats and can sample anything. Like, dude's music is all that. Madlib has worked with like Freddie Gibbs and who else? Just a plethora of other artists. But MF Doom and Madlib had a group called Mad Villain, and their album is 20 years old this year. Mad Villainy is just one of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my hip hop life. And Doom was underground, so a lot of people they get it now, but at the time it was happening, they ain't really get it. It was just about the lyrics. And so Rhinestone Cowboy is one of my favorite songs from that album. Also, All Caps. There's Vomit Spit from Food is great. It's weird and quirky, but it's live. He did an album with Danger Mouse. Doom did an album with Danger Mouse for Adult Swim, and that is one of the funniest things ever. Sofa King, El Chupa it's good music. Next up, I got Griselda. Griselda is a different breed of animal. These dudes are from Buffalo. Westside Gunn it's three of them that I know about, plus a producer. There may be other rappers involved, but I just really know about the three plus a DJ or the producer. Westside Gunn came across my either SoundCloud or YouTube years ago. I don't even know what year this was. And I've been following his career. He has like some good music with Skyzoo. Skyzoo is another MC from, I believe, from NYC. I think Skyzoo's from Brooklyn. Him and Touré have a great album. The Barrel Brothers. Good music. But Westside Gunn he's crazy. His music is crazy. It's crazy. And then it's him, and then his brother is a rapper named Conway the Machine. Story goes, he was at like an album release party and took a bullet in the neck. And because of that, he has like Bell's palsy. And didn't stop him from rapping. He's a monster. He's a monster. And then they have a cousin named Benny the Butcher, and Benny also is a monster as well. He got signed to Def Jam. They, I remember when I think they got signed by Eminem first, and then Rock Nation or Jay Z and them later, and then, I mean, they just make great music. It's that street, that hood, that you can't fuck with me, you can't touch me, stop trying to be like me, get away from me. That you like I and it's not bad, but I should not like their music. But it's so good, you can't deny it. Westside Gunn has an album called Roses Are Red, and I can't remember the rest of it, but that album is with a DJ. Let me look that up, because I know it's in my phone somewhere. It's the album is just so great. Oh, okay. It's the Purist and Westside Gunn. Roses Are Red. ... So is blood, and it's so good. If you get a chance, look up the Hitler tapes. The Hitler tapes by Westside Gunn are very good. Conway, his albums are awesome. They both got the brothers. Both got, so Westside Gunn got like a EP with MF Doom before he passed, and Conway the Machine has an EP with Prodigy from Mobb Deep before he passed. And they're like, it's just, they made a lot of great music. It's so good. So look them up if you get the chance to. The last like rapper that I like just enjoy supremely would be Earl Sweatshirt. Earl, if you haven't heard of this young man, please go find his music. It's very good. He was part of Odd Future, and they used to have a TV show called Loiter Squad. I think it was on Adult Swim. Great song with him and Flying Lotus, who's another DJ that has a rapper name. I can't remember it right now. But Flying Lotus, look up Flying Lotus's music. He's a great producer in his own lane. The music is awesome. But they have a song called Between Friends, and the beat on that is just very nasty. And then the dude Thundercat that does the Do-Rag song, he played guitar on that beat, and the shit is one of the funkiest tunes I've heard in my life. I've said this to myself and to others, about every 6 years, Earl Sweatshirt puts out a song that changes my life. Like, I just love that, like the way he verbalizes things so much. The way he raps, this shit is just fire to me. So look him up. And that's gonna segment us into my next topic, which is a topic I kind of came up with, not on purpose, but it came about. So last year was 2023, and hip hop was started in 1973. So there's been 50 years of hip hop, basically. And in that time, there's some songs that are absolutely bulletproof. And so this next segment is basically Lump's perfect hip hop songs. Now, if you have a perfect hip hop song, please put it in the comments. And I can't dispute a lot of them, and I won't dispute a lot of them because that's personally how you feel. But to me, the songs that I'm going to name are perfect hip hop songs. And the first perfect hip hop song that came to me that I think of is 93 Till Infinity by Souls of Mischief. I don't know who produced this beat. I know where they got the beat from. I know where they got the sample from, not the beat. The beat is something else. But the sample they got from a jazz guitarist named Billy Cobham. I might be saying that wrong. Let me look that up. And the name of the song, I believe, is Angela. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's Billy Cobham, and the name of the song is Heather. And if you ever play that song, the song is about 10 minutes long. but you can hear where they got the like the horn samples and all that from. In my opinion, 93 Till Infinity is the perfect hip hop song. And there are many, many others. That song, the beat was nasty, the sample was perfect, and them boys was rapping. They was spitting. And then the hook is nice. And all these years later, you could put that song on and let it play from front to back. And, you know what I mean, not want to cut it off. There's no whackness to me in that song. The next song I actually got to by mentioning another perfect song. So me and Buzz is producing tonight's show for excellence. And the way that we got to this next song, I'm gonna name the song, then I'm gonna name why we got to that song. So the next perfect hip hop song that I was thinking about, or that we got to, was "Today Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube. Now, before we get to that song, the reason why we got to that song is because when I mentioned 93 Till Infinity as one of my favorite perfect songs, or as a song that I would deem perfect in hip hop, Buzz said to me, well, after I said 93 Till Infinity, I said the next song that I would think of in my mind would be "You Know How We Do It" by Ice Cube. Now, in my opinion, that is a perfect hip hop song. QD3 did the producing on that, and Cube just rapped on it, and it's from a sample from a Evelyn Champagne Williams song. It's so good. Her song by itself, where they got the sample from, great song. But the way that QD3 put that beat together and then Q rapped on it, to me, that is the perfect song. And so when I mentioned that, Buzz was like, "Well, what about Today Was a Good Day?" And I was like, fuck, I can't say that that's not a perfect song, because it is. "Today Was a Good Day" was a perfect hip hop song. It came at the perfect time. The video was perfect. Hit Me on the Court and I'm Trouble last week fucked around and got a triple double. That's a good John. I love that dude. And I'm only going to name 3. I was going to try to get to 5, but the third, and these are not in order, and the list could change at any time. But the next song that I had for a perfect hip hop song is a song that Redman did years ago that he made a remix for, and I believe there's a video for the remix, but they didn't really. And it's a song that I fell in love with, and it's called the Rockefeller Remix, and the beat is just so nasty. I think Eric Sermon did this beat, which leads me to another perfect song, Just Like Music by Eric Sermon, and this is off the top of my head, is a perfect hip hop song. That him weaving in and out with the rapping, and then like Marvin Gaye sampling, him sampling Marvin Gaye to sing along with him, and that song is a perfect hip hop song. I have to write that down. That kind of leads me into, I guess, the last segment. There was an interview that Eric Sermon did, and I forget who it was with. I think it was with Grandmaster Flash, and he was talking about how, like, the mumble rap or that sing-songy rap, I don't know, trap music, trap rap, trap drill, I don't know, what is it called? Is it called drill music? Like the drill music needs to be not separated, but I don't think he was saying it's not hip-hop, but it's just not hip-hop as we understood it. And to me, I consider that, like, to me, that's more like R&B. You're singing to me. Oh, okay, you sold me a lot of drugs and you killed me, but you sang it to me. Like, you didn't rap it, you sang it. Like, it's like they took Bone Thugs and Harmonies, that like their template, and just ran with it. And I'm not putting any of that music down, because some of it is actually great music. what I'm saying is it's not like I need to understand what you're saying, how you're saying it, and the context of what you're saying. Yes, in the 80s and 90s there was a lot of pointless music made, but I think I was watching Talib Kweli's podcast, and he said that the music has always been about the jam. So that's number one. So if you get the party rocking and moving, whether I like it or not, does not matter. Period. And that's the one thing about having an opinion. Sometimes, you get caught up in what you like so much, you forget that everybody else around you may enjoy what's going on in that moment or at that time. And, you're kind of being self centered when you lash out or speak up about something of this magnitude. But this is a safe space, right? I think I would like to believe so. It's like Fort Knox down here in the Excellence Studios. Excellence! So nobody's gonna come get me for saying these things. So with the jam being the ultimate, as long as the jam is being made and people are loving it, then that's fine. And I don't mean to come across as a curmudgeon about hip hop and rap music, but I need to understand what you're saying to me. I need to understand what we're singing about or what you're rapping about, what you're trying to convey to me. And I'm not judgmental about it because, you never know what's in somebody's heart for them to make a song. But I need to understand what you're saying. There's certain songs that people listen to, and I'm like, do you even understand what they are saying to you? They could be telling you to go get a gun and go shoot somebody. Not that that you're responsible for what they're saying, but at least do you understand what's being said to you? The way people rapped back in the day, and even to this day, you gotta dig to find it. I don't know. How can I say this? I was listening to Dilated Peoples, and shouts to them. I'm a big fan of theirs too. They have, I believe, and I'll write that down, one of their songs, the Worst Comes to Worst, is a perfect hip hop song. And Guru did an ad lib on that. Look them up. Dilated Peoples. Their first 4 or 5 albums were awesome. And then Evidence has a solo joint that's great too. A couple solo joints that are great. There was a what's that called when you do they be having the little track by itself and they just be talking and stuff on the album. But, no. The joint where it's like a skit, but it's another word for it. But anyway, on one of the songs, they say it used to be 4 seasons out here, and now there's 1 season all year long. And that applies to hip hop because there used to be these kids and those kids, and everybody used to have different things. There was De La Soul, and there was Outkast, and then there was still the Wu-Tang, and you know what I mean. There was I don't know. Everybody wasn't the same, and it seems like to me everybody is trying to be the same thing, and they only allow certain outliers. They only allow certain acts to become big in a certain manner. And that's why you have the J. Cole, Drake, what's the boy name? Kendrick, Kendrick Lamar debate, where people rock with Drake, but they know Drake don't write his own lyrics. And people rock with Cole because they know he's been cooking as of late, because he's cooking people and he's just doing it purely out of the competition in rap. The song with him and Benny the Butcher, the JP's Caddy, nigga, and I don't even say that on here. Yo, he cooked on that joint. Kendrick is a monster of his of just doing the things the proper way. And what's funny is, as far as MCs in California go, I would take Earl Sweatshirt before Kendrick, but I understand Kendrick's relevance and what he's saying. So that's just. But as far as mumble rap is concerned, do you call that rap? Time out. Had to pay the water bill again, y'all. My bad. As far as hip hop as far as like hip hop and the I don't even, and I guess drill music or the music where they rap and I can't understand or they singing to me, there has to be some sort of separation in it. And it's not to say that it's not hip hop, because house music is hip hop, techno music is hip hop. Everything that's spawned from disco that came from hip hop is hip hop. And so you can't, I mean, people want to separate it because of the genres and whatnot. Even that electronic music, some that is hip hop because you know it is. That's what it is. Regardless of the message in the music that I'm talking about, I need to understand what you're saying to me. Like, so if I don't understand it, I'm not gonna listen to it. And for that reason, I know a lot of Jamaican songs, but I don't know the words, so I don't know what they're saying to me. I don't know. Like same thing with like if you walk in a Poppy store and Suave Mente's playing. I don't speak Spanish. I know the song is good. I know the music is live. I just don't know what they're saying. What are you saying to me? I don't know what that means. I don't speak of the English. No, I speak English. I don't speak of the Spanish, is what I meant to say. The counterpoint to what I just said on everything, a friend of mine named Meatloaf, y'all know Loaf is just my guy. He said what happened was, you know, and it started when hip hop kind of moved down south to Atlanta. They made hip hop fun again. They made it just for the clubs and this, that, and the third. But they never took the killing and the drug dealing out of it. We got to do something else. But they made music fun again. And that's why a lot of people are drawn to that. And I can appreciate it. And then on top of that, the ultimate end all be all on this topic is I fell in love with hip hop when I was 11 or 12. And most music that's being pumped by major companies, even underground and on TikTok and all that, the social media stuff, it's made for teenagers. So I'm 20 plus years past the prime of what, the demographic that they're looking for, but I'm still a fan of it. And I root all people in hip hop on because it's like home to me. I live hip hop. Like, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. I live hip hop. And I'm not saying I am hip hop, but I live hip hop. I probably am hip hop, but I definitely live it. We talked about a lot today. We talked about me, my jobless ass, doing some things, progressing. Hopefully, I'll get more spots. And I was like, Mr. Collier told me to quit my job, and 3 weeks later, I ended up getting laid off. So that's got to be a plus in my favor, right? Even though I don't like it, because I don't have any discipline no more. I don't have to get up. For the past 8 to 10 years, I have gotten up early. If I had a car, it'd be a little bit later, but most of the times I wasn't driving, so I had to catch the bus, and I would be up at 5 something in the morning to get the train by a certain time to get to work, and I don't have that anymore. I get to sleep in unless something is early, and I gotta go do it, which hasn't happened yet. I'm over here being a bum. I wake up and eat, and then I try to send emails so people can book me. And that's what's going on. That's not my whole day. I'm trying to get things together. I will be moving in with my lady soon, so that's gonna happen. I'm out of these streets forever on that one. I don't need to go back. I think I found where I want to be, and that's where I'm gonna be at. As long as I don't get on her nerves and she doesn't kill me, which she won't, because she loves me and I love her too. We wished Uncle Ernie rest in peace. That was my guy. I love him. We talked about sports. We'll see what's going on with Carter Hart. The Eagles, we'll see them next season. The Phillies coming up soon. The Sixers, Embiid is hurt. He's got to get surgery on his meniscus, I believe. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he's back for the playoffs. If not, this year was a wash. But I do like that Nick Nurse has came in and made him play like an MVP. So let's hope continue to play like an MVP because he won MVP last year, but this year dominance just off the charts. Getting 40 and 3/4, not even playing the whole game, just busting their ass, and he had 70 in the game. We also talked about rap music. Some of my favorite artists. I listed Wu Tang, artists that have come from Dr. Dre. Talked about MF Doom. I talked about Griselda. I talked about Earl Sweatshirt, and then we went from there into perfect hip hop songs, where I named my initial five. Let's call them that, which were "93 Till Infinity" by Souls of Mischief. "Today Was a Good Day" by Ice Cube. Rockefeller Remix by Redman. Music by Eric Sermon. The song "Music" by Eric Sermon, with Marvin Gaye is on the hook on that. And then the fifth perfect song that I came up with today, and we may do five more later. Ooh, that might be a thing that we could keep doing. Or you could send in your what you believe to be perfect hip hop songs, and I'll listen to them and I'll give a thumbs up or agree to disagree. But the fifth song was "Worst Comes to Worst" by Dilated Peoples, which is a great song. It's one of my favorites, and they have a couple other songs that I would believe to be perfect. But that's I believe that's it. I'm tired of bumping my gums. Probably gonna get off of here and go hit a stage, tell some jokes. Been telling jokes about how my son respects me a lot, and it's funny and cute and cuddly at the same time. You should check me out. Come see me. I'll be around, and hopefully this year I'll be traveling more. We're already going to Kansas City in April, so that'll be live. I'm gonna have to start doing the tickets and stuff for that on plane tickets because I'm not driving to Kansas City. I don't even know how far that is. It's not happening though. Yeah, I'll be in Kansas City, Missouri, April 25th to the 28th for the festival. I think I'm doing a wraparound, which is show up the day before and leave the day after to come back to Philadelphia. I want to find some more time while I'm out there, so I'll definitely be reaching out to anyone that listens before I get out there. But I am Lump. Life's Ugly Money Problem. And I'm tired of bumping my gums. And this has been another episode of the No Chops podcast. Love, peace, hair grease. Rock on.